Hello everyone, Alicia here with another lightened up, Weight Watcher friendly recipe, and today's recipe is going to be for a no-bake mini raspberry protein cheesecake. Now I've never made these before. I saw this recipe and it definitely looked like one I wanted to try out. So I'll have a link to the original recipe that I'm going to be adapting down below and you can check that out if you want, but these just looked really good. They also looked really easy and I love a nice no-bake cheesecake. So I'm going to be trying these out today. I thought I'd take you guys along with me and show you how they do turn out. But let me first go over ingredients and I'll show you what you're gonna need to make these. First up, you're gonna need some cream cheese. I'm using this Philadelphia, a third less fat. This is 8 ounces and you're gonna want this at room temp. Next up, I've got a large box of raspberry sugar-free gelatin. This is the Winco brand and it's 0.88 ounces or 25 grams. The Jello version of this would be the 0.6 size, or I think it's 17 gram size box, but you want the larger size box of a sugar-free raspberry gelatin. Next up, I've got some Fage fat-free Greek yogurt. I'm gonna be using a cup of this. This is my absolute favorite fat-free Greek yogurt, and I use this in all kinds of things. It just works really well. For protein powder in this, I'm gonna be using this Isopure, simply vanilla. There's the nutritional info on this. I'm gonna be using a scoop or about 31.5 grams. This is just our preferred protein powder, but you could use whatever type of protein powder that you'd like. But you're looking for about 31 grams or a scoop. And then here I've got a half cup of fresh raspberries that I've washed up. You could also use frozen. And then I'm also gonna be using a teaspoon vanilla extract. And then for sweetener, I'm gonna be using this Lakanto with allulose, just the classic. I'm gonna be using a 1/4 cup for the filling, and then I'm also gonna be using 2 tablespoons of this for the crust. So that's everything for the filling. For the crust, as I said, I'm gonna be using 2 tablespoons of that monk fruit sweetener. I'm also gonna be using 2 tablespoons coconut oil, and then here I've got some chocolate graham crackers. I'm gonna be using 7 whole graham crackers or 109 grams. So that is everything that's in this. Let me get it started. The first thing I'm gonna do is get my crust made. And to do that, I'm just gonna take my 7 whole graham crackers and I'm gonna add them to a Ziploc bag. Zip that up. And then I'm gonna take a rolling pin and I'm gonna just break these up until I've got crumbs. You could do this in a food processor if you want, but I don't like to get mine dirty for such a small job. So I just do it like this and it works really well. So I'm gonna break these up and then I'll be back. Got those all broken up. And I'm gonna pour them in a small bowl here. I'm gonna add in my 2 tablespoons sweetener and my 2 tablespoons coconut oil. I'm gonna just stir all that together. Get that all mixed together. So now I've got a muffin tin here that I've lined with these little silicone cups, and I'm gonna fill them with my crust mixture. I'm gonna get this in there as evenly as possible. I'm gonna just start off with a heaping tablespoon in each one. Got all my crust mixture in there, and it did end up being just about a heaping tablespoon each cup. So now take a spoon, kind of press my crust down. That was all pressed in there. So now I'm gonna pop this in my fridge while I work on the filling. So for the filling, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mash my raspberries up. Okay, I've got those all mashed, so I'm gonna set those aside and grab myself a medium bowl. So here in my medium-sized bowl, I'm gonna add in my remaining ingredients, starting with my softened cream cheese, Greek yogurt, a 1/4 cup sweetener, scoop of protein powder, Jello mix, teaspoon vanilla, and my fresh raspberries. Now I'm gonna mix all this together really well. And you could do this in a mixer with a hand mixer if you want it to be a little easier. I got this all mixed together and I would recommend using a hand mixer just because that would be a whole lot easier. I still have little tiny flecks of the cream cheese in here, which I probably wouldn't have if I'd used a mixer, but I would definitely recommend using a mixer instead of doing it by hand. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my muffin tin back out. And I'm gonna fill all my little cups with my filling as evenly as possible. And I'm just using this ice cream scoop. This works pretty well for this type of thing. So I'm gonna just go fill all these. And just for reference, this ice cream scoop is probably about a 1/4 cup. Yeah, I've got these all filled, so now I'm gonna cover them with some plastic wrap first, and I'm gonna set them in my fridge for probably a good 4 hours, maybe even overnight. I want them to have a good chance to set up. But after that, I will be back and show you the finished product. It is the next day. I just ended up letting these sit overnight to make sure they got nice and set up. So I'm gonna take a couple of these out and show you how I garnish them and give you points, and then we will give these a taste as well. A couple of these out so you can see what they look like out of the little silicone liners. And I just top them with a little bit of dairy whipped topping that I don't have factored into the points. These alone, without the whipped topping, are gonna be 5 points a piece. I believe that whipped topping is a point for 2 tablespoons. If you want to add that, but again, the points I've got factored in for these are without. I just think that they look nice with a little bit of whipped topping and another raspberry on top. Makes a little nicer presentation if you want to serve these to guests or whatever. But yeah, 5 points. We will give these a try here in a minute and let you know what we think of them. Okay, so to try these, I'm gonna just leave it in the little silicone cup.
Leave it. Oh.
Leave it, because I don't know if it was picking up on the plate, but those crusts, unfortunately, are pretty crumbly. So this is how we usually do our mini cheesecakes that I make anyways. We just eat them right out of the little cups.
Oh, it is crumbly.
Yeah. It's kind of falling apart. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case, but anyway, it should still taste good. It's just a little messy if you take them out. Let me have a little taste.
No.
Taste. Here's the cat.
You can get your own.
BB? Hi, Ruby.
So that's a lovely, just raspberry smack right in the face.
So these
I
have
just made a mess.
7 grams
Sorry.
of protein.
Sorry, YouTube.
It's okay. Oh, you did make a mess. That's what I'm talking about, though, right there. I was hoping the coconut oil was going to make that crust set up once it went into the fridge. It was not, or it did not, unfortunately.
Tastes good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
What'd you say about the raspberry smacking you in the face? It does have a really strong raspberry taste. Wow. Okay, so before you take that, it's 5 points. So you can think about that as you chew on that. Definitely messy.
Messy, yeah.
So what I would suggest, honestly, is using less graham crackers, probably like 5, and keep the coconut oil the same. And that should make that hopefully set up a little better if you don't want to have quite the mess that we've got going on here.
So it's rich and flavorful. That's worth 5 points.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's a very summer.
That's got a great, summer raspberry flavor, huh? I mean,
that's really good.
we're kind of into summer, but that's definitely good. What do you think about 7 grams of protein for that? I think that's pretty good too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Well, those were mini protein raspberry no-bake cheesecakes. I hope you enjoyed. If these look good to you, you want to check out the recipe, be sure to look down in the description box below where I'll have a link to the recipe over on my website where you'll find the full list of ingredients, instructions, points, other nutritional info, all that great stuff will be over on my website. But thank you as always for watching, and we will see you on the next one.